Okay, good morning, everyone. This is Michael Venezia, head trader and co-coach at the moment at TradeView Markets. Okay, good morning. It's a little bit after 11 Eastern on the 19th of January. Okay, so like I said, it's the middle of January. Might as well be November. The new year's over. You know what I mean? Everything's looking behind, and even though our year to date is down 18% in the XBI, the biotech index is down 18% year to date. We'll put down behind this. I digress. Let's log into TradeGATEHub. And by the way, before I do that, as I say uh, every Monday morning, the data that I put out on Mondays or at the beginning of the week are usually Mondays. This beginning of the week being a Tuesday morning because it was a holiday, although I did post late Monday evening, is that the data that I post is dynamic, and it's definitely quality over quantity. And this is one of the days where it came to fruition, or it was tantamount to having a plan. So let's log into TradeGate. This we are TradeView Markets. Let's log into TradeGATEHub. As I say before, I log in the same as everybody else. It's that easy. We'll see if market holds. Thanks, Lewis. Okay. Let me go into today. Now, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go right into a chart because this is more important of my plan coming into today. Now, this is the chart on the futures today, and this is what they did overnight. Okay. So the futures at a low overnight at one point were 45.40, and they bounced, as you see, nicely through the morning to where this is where the market opened right here. You see all that activity. So when I was okay, now keep in mind that the low is 45.40 because this is very important. I have to go back to TGH here. I'm trying not to get distracted. I'm being professional. The bottom line is this. So knowing that by the way, this is more important than anything. This will Mike Santoli, everybody's logging in, which is why we have to get this feature out where people log in and it brings me back to zero, if you will. But I digress. Okay, so this is where we were coming into today. So when I saw the futures, and by the way, this is where the futures were coming today, meaning where were they? 45.60. So when I looked at the futures, the ESE minis being at 45.36, we were off the page. Now, the reason why I like that is because when we were off the page and we were precipitously lower that evening, I saw that oil wasn't, well, gold was a different story. That as it broke out of a little cup and handle. I'm sure Coach probably got into that in the earlier webcast, if you will. But oil wasn't going parabolic or wiping the shorts out or taking people out. And by the way, ASML had nice numbers. And I saw that Europe wasn't down precipitously, if you will. So I say, okay. Then I started licking my chops. I had a couple of positions coming in. I knew I would be down in looking at the futures where they were. But you know what? Excuse me. With this type of slow bleed in the market, or now it's getting faster, which is why I liked it. I like the acceleration, if you will, because although the VIX kind of showed it a little bit, still not much more fear, and the rotation was evident still with the oil stocks, but I digress again. So we were down here. So I was licking my chops. Now, the only time I ever trolled anybody on Twitter, and I admit it, is because of he claims to be a 20-year trader. I'm not going to bring him up, but he trades for a long time. I know who he is and vice versa. He actually blocked me. Only person ever blocked me is because his investment theories are it's only a matter of time and a short squeeze is imminent. But if the short squeeze doesn't come, and you could see how all these stocks one day doesn't make a reversal, and it's only a matter of time, that's not the thing. But I knew right back down here that my previous positions were positions that I would have bought anyway, no matter if it was yesterday or today. So I'm okay with that. So we were down here. So pardon me. Now, the problem is the fear and greed is still not, and this is an index I follow. I obviously posted for a reason. It's widely It's widely followed, so it's not nothing. I'm not splitting the atom here. So this is tactical sentiment for a trade. I'm not saying that the market's going to pull a V bottom. As a matter of fact, coach was probably telling me short the Nasdaq on a bounce if I know the coach. So the bottom line is there's no fear or greed. This is just a tactical move to take some positions and trade. It doesn't mean that, oh my God, Mike V picked the bottom. Let's go play golf and do whatever we're doing, or and just walk away and put a basket there, because that's not going to happen. There's tremendous amount of overhead resistance. It's already evidence in what happened this morning. And I will get to the charts in a second. Bear with me. So the trades that we're putting on are positions. I'm not putting on it. And I said this the whole week. I'm not putting on any longer term positions in the proverbial trade view fund. I'm not doing it. I would rather until the overall picture changes, which is rates and oil and everything like that. And I don't think this is going to end anytime soon. Definitely, I don't think it's going to pull a COVID V bottom, and it's not going to do that. So, and I'm not positioned for that. I'd be willing to pay up, and I'm waiting for with the Fed meeting the 26th, including with the growth stocks as well, for me to take a stance and know where the Fed is. So bottom line is, you know how I trade options, I go where the smart people are, and the smart people right now are the Fed. And the 10-year is controlling everything, for lack of a better term. Again, so until that changes, I'm not gonna predict. I'm gonna react. And by the way, all these stocks that have been beaten down and the rotation that's happening right now, I'll be more than happy to pay up, because you can see in some of these positions what's happening when you're paying down. So I'll move on to today's action. I won't pontificate anymore. Tactical sentiments, but they took the trade away, and I said that. SPY gamma exposure really didn't help. It should be a lot lower. That's also why I'm not licking my chops or anything. It's not even that. See, when gamma is lower, the options expiration, they rip. It's elevated, from my opinion. All right, sector sentiment. This is why I bought some retail stocks. Some of these things are really going off the page, including energy and the oils. And Lewis, I saw your question right before I went on here, and it's a good question. And thanks for asking all the time. You're really getting it very articulate, and I'm happy that you're participating more. Seriously, energy. But you know what? As we say, these conditions can stay extended more than people can stay solvent. That's why, there's a couple of mosquito bites I'm dealing with, but I'm certainly not trying to make things worse, and I'm positioned to where I want to be, at least in cash, when things show better signs. Let's look at retail, for example. I bought Chewy, and I'll tell you in a second. It was retail. Boom, off the page. Pardon. I've been up all night. Oil producers off the page. Miners, Finns, to no surprise. Bank of America, and I'll get over that trade. I have to write that down. Bank of America. That's the problem with being an active manager, is that I had some pre-existing positions, and if I came in flat, I really would have crushed Bank of America. And I'll go to that in what I said on TGH before. Okay, biotechs. By the way, I gave a chart on TGH. Go through it afterwards, or we'll go over the video on the XBI on the or label. Lewis, you saved me on that one through 22 yesterday. Good call. So I'm not really trying to pick the bottom there yet either. I still think it's going to be 88 or 90 on the XBI, and they very rarely give you the perfect trade. And I'll be willing to let a bit, 10% go. I mean, the stock's cut in half, basically within a month, if you will. So, get over this. And by the way, if anybody, this is what I do to gather a plan. So this is what I do. I look at biotechs. So biotechs are open this morning. They would have been cooked. So I say, okay, biotechs are going. And by the way, this is trades only. I'm not trying to call bottoms. You could pull the Tim Fury buy relative strength green. That also worked this morning as well. I'll go back to a couple of charts, and they did. So when I see biotechs that are buried, tactical sentiment is buried, and the future is opening down lower, I'm looking to buy some things on a tactical play or a bounce. That's what I try to lock in for. It's almost like you see an airline pilot, on the radar, how they have all these different circles coming in. So when sentiment is low, when sentiment is it's in your favor, or as we say, you have an edge. It's almost like you lock in. This was the S&P futures and Nasdaq before we came in today. So once again, when they were down, when the Nasdaq was down 1.5% this morning, early this morning, they were here. Now, once again, I didn't make. They would say make a bull-shaped reversal, but I think they would make bull-shaped, a V-shaped moves. I go again. Bank of America long-term stock picks. Go over on your own. McElliott always post. Hearing massive pain. And by Gregory Zuckerman, by the way, this guy's a sharp dude. He writes for the Wall Street Journal bios. So the fund's down as much as 20% this year. And I know misery doesn't love company. It's one of the couple of positions I have as well. I'm just trying to, get a feel here. It's almost like when everybody capitulates. So in 2 weeks, the biotech index gave back 4 years. As the market's only 10% off the high, if you will. All right, I go forward. Upgrades, downgrades, we always post them live. Bank of America, buyout, economics indicator. This is the XBI I was talking about, the retracement. I'll go over it before. Or by the way, if I'm speaking too quickly or too advanced, I apologize. I'm trying to fit everything at once. You know what? It might not get there, the XBI between 88 and 90, but that's where something, including what, I have a fiduciary responsibility to be completely prudent to our hand, to our boutique clients for the fund. So that's where I'm going to start nibbling. And if it doesn't get there, I'll pass to keep going. What else we have? SoFi. Okay. ARC trade. So this is what Kathy's doing. She's selling selling Snap. She's buying Shop in the Hole. Buying Nutella. Now, let me get something to Nutella. Let me put on the chart of Nutella. Futures are going low now, you bastards. Nutella. I'm down in it. But let's look at Nutella's chart. Nutella is holding relative strength. This is part of the XBI. This is the XBI. It's getting it, whatever it is, and this is Nutella. And that's showing very, very good relative strength compared. Let's even go to the wheat. So that's why she's buying Nutella. Oh, yeah, futures break lower. All right. No problem. All right, so that's what she's doing in Nutella. And I actually like that one. So I know everybody's shorting her, and I know what's going on right now, but am I sharing the right screen? That's the one that I like at the moment. Futures going lower. Okay, Nutella. So, Lewis, I know you're a Kathy fan. Everybody is now. As a matter of fact, they're shorting her at the moment. And that's what's exacerbating the moves. Watch Jim Cramer tonight. Hedge fund managers feel painful losses they suffer to meet. It's a good show. It's going to be on tonight, not because I'm a manager. Here's another point. We were privileged enough to have Helene on. The bottom line is this. Do yourself a favor. Look at the new high and the new low list. And that's a macro view. PayPal, we've stayed away. Look at that chart. Blow it up. All right, yesterday's range with upgrades and volumes. The plan today, go over it. See it. Bottom line is today, see if Bank of America holds. Let's blow up the chart and share a couple of charts before I finish on TGH, okay? So this was Goldman Sachs yesterday. You know what I mean? It's over. I don't care if they make widgets or they make, Dallas Cowboy jerseys. It's over. You know what I mean? So let's go to the weekly. Broke everything. So all right, so if the big daddy is weak, and by the way, couldn't really muster a rally yesterday, it was down 31 at one point, $31, and rallied from 347 to 354. I had some short covering. And by the way, an even better short on the open. Let's go today for a second. I didn't see where it went on the open. I was involved in some other things. So yeah, Goldman closed. They opened it at 360, went down $10. And Bank of America right here at the gap. And I'm mad. And I tell you, I would have covered it there. Bank of America, 48.50. Hold on a second. Let's go to 48.50, give or take. All right, that's where it is. That was the perfect gap right here, 48.50. And I missed it. And if I listened to my plan, and I don't need to be a hypocrite, but the market was doing a lot of things. I wanted to be positioned. I'm not going to lie. I would have aggressively shorted Bank of America right at that gap. 48.50 right down to what? I probably would have, well, let's see where I would have covered it. And I might have, would have, should have gone. Yeah, no, I would have covered right here. 46.42, where's that? Well, you know what? I would have gotten near the bottom, maybe. Well, whatever. Next, we'll move on. Morgan Stanley, with that do after earnings? Morgan Stanley, hold on, please. Same thing. 98 to 95. Morgan Stanley going down now. You know what? It's one of the better of breeds. I don't really like the banks now. JP Morgan. Look at this JP Morgan. That went from best to worst, just like that. And I'm not interested in it. Yeah, like I said, not to be redundant, I'm going to wait until the meeting. I'm going to wait until the Fed meeting because the market's bigger than me and all of us right now in this macro view of interest rates. That's all I know. I don't, I might do some funky things. That's above me. So I'll be, as we say, I'll leave it to the professionals. So let's go back. TradeGATEHub. What do we have? See if Bank of America holds. It didn't. Pre-market movers. Cup and handle on GLD went above it. I made a poor sale today too. I'm going to tell you what it was. The GLD went through our cup and handle, and I saw Newmont Mining last night have action that I $2.50. Look at this thing. It was doing something. It was acting funny with volume, and I didn't understand it. So I bought some JUNG. Oh my God. And I sold the winner to compensate for a loser, but I didn't think it was going to get right here to the fifth red, white, and blue. I didn't think it was going to get to the 50-day. These were my trades today on JUNG. It is what it is. I came in long overnight. It made 4,000 in it. I sold the majority at 60 and a half, and it's 64. All right, whatever. Let's look at the GLD. It's one of those markets going higher. GDXJ got resistance, I believe, at the 50-day last I looked. So that's yet to do. What's our best to breed? Well, NEM's the best to breed now. AEM, once a best to breed. AU, no interest. JNUG. Well, you know what? That's why I sold it. The triple T ETF. That's the one to go in nougat. Let's look at the smaller one. CDE, nothing. FSM, a silver miner, not bad. BHP. Let's look at the bigger daddies. So for BHP. All right. So that's what the bigger daddies are doing. We'll do Rio. Let me get down to more sexier trades. But you know what? This is a macro market. You know what I mean? All the pros that I know of are positions now are taking positions in some sort of ETF or index because the stock picking is very difficult. That's why. So that's why I look more to a macro view. What am I going to get to right now? We'll probably have some questions. Okay. That's what I said this morning. ES, they took the trade away. Morgan Stanley, hi guys, good call on the NASDAQ, bearish coach. Las Vegas Sands was bullish. That was the option activity today. Las Vegas Sands gets upgraded to no surprise. Okay, what do we do? That was my screen. Now the key is the 10-year in crude, the cup and the handle. I hope I got to answer your question, Gerard, in the video. Yesterday, that was our short of COP at 88.43, covered at 86.40. We bought some Fitch we're down in, which I'm not actually happy about. Microsoft at one point was up $10 and Apple was up 50 cents. And by the way, that was about, what was that, an hour ago? Yeah, GDXJ and Newmont were ads. Nice call, Lewis. See if the market holds. You think of oil stocks. I don't, short. Morning, Mike. Morning, Coach. Zoom. You know what, Zoom? I'll get to your questions, Lewis. You know what I mean? I felt Zoom, you know what I mean? To get for Zoom right now, and I hope it doesn't happen, you're going to need another virus or you're going to need a takeover. Or, you're going to need another virus to happen, unlikely, within the next, whatever pandemic happens, whichever years. You're going to need a major news, fundamental news, and that's even so, suppose the stock doubles, then you're still, at 270. And I'm sure a lot of people are still underwater and couldn't wait to sell it there, which would leave it selling pressure. And number three was a takeover, and we never bank on takeovers. Oil stocks. Let's look at you know what? Exxon turned from worst to first. And that's actually going lower now. But you know what? It's down 5 cents and the market's getting hurt. USO, I shorted that today. I covered it right away. My timing's not, I shorted it here, 61.30, covered at 60. Look, how about Snap? I came in long this. And Snap, I sold right away. And look at the chart on Snap. I tried to be a wise guy. I like the RSI. It was low. The chart, I thought the volume it did yesterday, it might have washed it out. It finished on the low. So I sold, let's go to today, a 15-second. So I couldn't wait to sell Snap at 36.08 and make a couple of thousand, just take some money off the board. So it did go to 36.30, but I sold 6,000 at 36. Right now it's sitting at 34. So I saved myself. You know what? Maybe I should be shorting it, but it's not my type to really short these type of, you know what I mean? I don't, this is not really my type of shorting market. Obviously it's the area of least resistance at the point, but how about this one? SDGR, where's this? I hope it's up. Oh, sure dinger. My God. Majority I sold here, what? 30.17, it's 28. This is a stock I like long-term. It's a bleed just like the XBI. And let me just, I'll get into it another time about this, about the positions. I'll do another video on why I did it. There's the difference on positions, on the positions and trades. All right, so what's going on right now? Let's go to my main page. So instead of going to my active page, I'm just going to go right here to stocks. Look at Apple. Huh. Okay. Most active. No, you know what I want to know? Top U.S. gainers. What's holding up right now in the market? Just to prove to you, not to prove to you. ZGNX, a takeover. Facts, no good weenie, low floater, no interest. SoFi, no range. Silver. Oh, that's not silver. CRISPR. Hecla Mining. Silver. Nothing. Silver and gold ETFs. What's on the top U.S. losers? Just like Colleen says, look what's on the top and the top low list. DDL, DATS, that was yesterday's big winner. Where's BBIG? BBIG, that answers a question there. Lewis, it's not bad. And I usually catch these type of runs on BBIG in bull markets when everything's going good and I'm not concentrating on more macro issues. But the BBIG, like I said, it's going to be, it stairs up. Well, it's an elevator up. It's going to be an elevator down, although it's holding right here. I'm not going to lie. And I would probably consider it back at this gap on an active level, right near the 200-day, maybe 426 on an active level. Oh my God, just took a hit here. Let's look at the 15-minute. 426. BBIG. 412, 426. You know what? Better trades. If this is getting hit, then others in the market are getting hit. They're probably the sexier stocks, but not bad. But I didn't like it today going in there. Okay, so let's keep going. And what's going on our active list here? Let's see now it looks like there's accelerating selling a little bit. I'll go to my Twitter feed and we always look at what the wise guys and the smart guys are doing because they know more than us. We just base a plan of following. GM bearish. Gold, some gold miner bull flow this morning. I'm not surprised. EGO bullish. So gold has been bullish. Let's go to the chart. GOLD, the stock. I think that's Warren Buffett's biggest holding. GOLD. Listen, it's going to make a move. It's all going to matter with the resistance here. Much like everybody's trying to pick the oil resistance, me included. It was just a trade I got out of them. But once it gets to crunch time and where it settles and rests here with GOLD, but GLD it certainly doesn't look like it can take it up further. GDXJ, SLV, SLV, AGQ, the triple silver miner. You know what I mean? It's yet to be determined if they're going to back and fill or rotate at this point. Let me get to more wise guy action. So far we have silver. Lennar puts, look at my KBH. If you remember on Monday, I got frustrated, Friday, I got frustrated and got out of this. 50, 43, right? 200-day, look at toll. And if I shorted the worst of breeds when I did that video, I'd still be in Lennar that broke everything instead of outsmarting myself with KBH. I hope everybody learned that lesson. I'm serious about that. That's one I'm not going to forget or re-forget. Okay, what else? SoFi bearish. Here we are on the few IWM. Right at support in the gap. IWM, this is the spot 205.80, it looks like. IWM. Going overboard. Oh no, we're in trouble in the IWM. It broke it. Yeah, well, this is what I'm looking at when I say that. IWM on my charts. Look at the daily. Now we have, whenever you look at weekly for bottoms, you're in trouble. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, this, you got to work some of this. Some of this has to work off. I thought today the optimal trade today was, like I said this morning, when I had the flush and the market opens down the way it's going down now, and then it does that intraday reversal and finishes at the highs and flushes everybody out. But because we were up 12 or 15 or 20 handles one day, people like myself were selling and taking money off the table, thinking that they would go down again, and they did. I didn't want to see that. I mean, I had some longs and I got out, but I didn't want to see the market up. I wanted to, that I wanted to flush and everybody to say, that's it, I give up. And then for the weak hands to be all out and for them to reverse, but it didn't happen that way. And that's why I think you're seeing the market go down as we speak, although we're bouncing at the moment. So let's go to see what the wise guys are doing again. Flow bearish, SPY bullish, Carvana, a lot of Carvana calls. Somebody lost their mind. Look at Carvana. Carvana. So somebody's buying calls on Carvana. Advanced trade, you have to know how to use these calls. This might be somebody covering or hedging. So when I see Carvana, I look at Vroom. I sold that at like, look at Vroom. Oh my God. Auto Nation. No Trade, CarMax. I'm just looking what the rest of the ones are doing. All right, so let's go to the active page and we'll leave it. We'll go one more time to TradeGATEHub and then we'll go to the active page. Matter of fact, we're going to the active page first. New share. Let's go here. I want to tell you what's moving because when I finish doing the video, which I've been doing for half an hour, I'm not going to go to my quotes. I'm going right to this page. What's moving and what's moving now. Top list. Share. New share. Top list. Bottom line, what has range and moving today. I'm interested in today's range. Huge range in Tesla. Socks. Nevada, huge range. All right, so DWAC, huge volume, huge range. We know what that's been doing, but I think the trade's been out of there, but that tells me that it might be a trade, a trade. It's an active trade when a stock has that big of a range. Stock went from 93 up here to 78. So, okay, on how many million shares? Yeah, it's trading 20 million. So that tells me that. But the trade's out of it. And that's not a trade I'm trying to, even though I could support Donnie, but that's not something move's been made there. What's at the high? DBC, that doesn't make McCormick, BDX, Pepsi, Colgate, Lockheed Martin, and Tyson Chicken are at the high. And that makes me nervous because I know it's at the low. Qualcomm, NXPI, Goldman, STX, Clack, Wayfair, they killed it. Large, look at Sox is down 11. I got a call to short this too. Call. All right, so Sox is moving. All right, what has volume? That might be relative volume near the high is what? GFI, no cares. DATS. You know what I mean? So AXU, KL Gold, boy, we can never figure that one out. PAS Silver at the high. You know what I mean? It's gold and they're selling everything else, including interest rate stocks. So interest rates, Caterpillar down 8, AXP down 4. Gold. All right. Where's the VIX? We'll leave it off at that. VIX is only up 20 cents. The VIX today, the gap are still going down here. So yeah, the VIX took a hit. So you know what? Oh, you know what? Let me go back. This is what I also look at if I'm jumping around. So I see the market pulling back the VIX. So I go alerts. What's been moving very quickly? BBBG up big but down today. Volume last 10 minutes. This is what I want to see. What put in volume the last 10 minutes? So Newmont, huge volume the last 10 minutes. That doesn't help the family. I want to see something bouncing with volume in 10 minutes. What's gone up the last 5 minutes? Label has gone up. Maybe this has bounced here. Label went from 2050. What moves in these things? GDXJ made a big move up. What's moved down in the last 10 minutes? Huge volume apps. Lennar, they're killing it. Goldman still. Carvana, that guy's nuts. Bros, we didn't get stubborn there. Look at the bros. I think I sold this where? 51. Dutch Brothers. Everybody was drinking coffee. They couldn't get enough. Now it broke. All right. So the bottom line is there's a lot going on. And this is you know what? Like I said, this is a time to be tactical. And you want to play some bounces in. Yes, holding on your call. We'll see. This is, what do you think about Mo? A couple of clients stuck. Mo? You know what, Lewis? Listen, Philip Morris is just like your Kellogg. It's just like your Estee Lauder. It's a stock, before the change in rates and before I took Alcoa and all these started putting all these stocks that were on there, like DuPont, back on my screen. It's a stock you want to have in your portfolio because it pays a dividend and it's interest rate sensitive. I don't know if you want to be in Philip Morris in general per se. I mean, they kill people with cigarettes and everything, but I've done worse. Don't get me wrong. But, you could just as easily go into Procter and Gamble or something like that. So look at Procter and Gamble today. It's up $6. What a move. They knew it right on the open. And if you're watching these cyclical stocks, with GDXJ, Procter and Gamble tipped its hand right away. Boom. What is Alcoa? It's funny. That's why I say it's a stock pick. Sometimes you play indices, he's stock picking. ES is holding 45.60. I hope it's holding 45.60, or else we got to really go. 45.60 right now. It is holding. Is it? Oh, let's look at my chart. So when Lewis tells me that, which by the way, nice job, Lewis, by the way. So it held 45, 45.60. 45.60 is the line in the sand. Right here, this 45.60. If it doesn't, that's you want the right hold. You want the right stocks to hold up. You want the oils to reverse. Are they going down? ConocoPhillips. Where's USO? UCO. I covered that. Now it's coming down. Was a USO. You want these to come down a little bit now. USO. I covered what? Let's see if they rotate. Listen, today's all. I'm going to tell you. Two things I'm going to leave everybody with is if you're going to stick your toe in, go best of breed. You're probably going to be wrong first. Go with the volume, then go with the relative strength. Look what was strong in the morning. That usually tips their hand. ASAN was strong in the morning. Did that bounce? It didn't bounce. Look at ASAN. ASAN. Look at ASAN. Thanks. You too, Coach. Thank you as well. I couldn't do without you. I don't need to be dramatic. Look at ASAN. Lewis, you like this. ASAN. ASAN chairman. Where is he? Chairman purchases another 1 million shares of ASAN. So this guy stepped up of the chairman and he bought ASAN was where? Yeah. Guy stepped up and bought it's whatever, $60. He bought $55 million worth of stock today. And by the way, he also Oppenheimer's top pick 100. These stocks you have to the JONG. The market's really selling off now. Chewy. Oh, I want to tell you another stock I took a shot in today. And I don't think I'm not that. By the way, it's no. And why I did it. Where's the charts here? Okay, stock I took a long in. Chewy. It's okay. You want to know why? Let me just finish. I always say let me finish with this, and you know what? Cut me off. It'll be a lesson that I can. What I will turn this into a tutorial. The retail sector is one that I thought was safe. That to dip a toe in, as you know here. Okay. Now Chewy. I took a stab on Chewy. I'm long 3,400. The market's going a lot lower. Oh, it went up nice too. It went from 42.5 to 42.80. I'm going to buy more Chewy here. This is why I did it. It's part of the retail sector. I saw Amazon. This is the IPO on Chewy. That's the IPO open 41.38. Now, listen, I want to be prudent here, and this is for the active account. I'm not looking for a V shape, although I did buy it correctly when I bought it today here. I did buy 3,000 shares or whatever, 3,400 at 42.08, and it went to 43. I could have taken off whatever, 3,000. But that's why I took a stance in Chewy. It's part of the retail sector. The RSI is overbought. Like I said, I'm not making a living today picking bottoms, but that was me for something to believe in and take a stance on. And so far, it's held true. Now, if Chewy holds and back and fills, I might buy more as when it gets above this 42.80, and maybe I'll get lucky. It goes back to the high 44. What's Snap doing? I shouldn't say that, get lucky. Lucid is hanging good. What's that been doing? What's BBIG doing? That bounced off the proper level. See, if you're just patient, things bounce at the proper levels. What's Crude doing? USO. Okay, that bounced. Somebody wanted to get out of it. It's a big block. So you know what? The RSI has never been up there. It's painful, but it's painful. And if you want to try the turn, it's there. But it's for a tactical trade. I don't think things are going to reverse. Square. I mean, if this is why I think so. If Square's up $20 tomorrow, wouldn't you think that somebody on the beginning of the year that has Square on the books would say, oh, this is up 10% so far, or I'm up 10%, or it's up 12% from where from my bottom. I'll take some off there. That's why that selling pressure doesn't really abate that much. But you know what? I'm going back and forth. I'll leave it there. Okay. So I'll leave it at TradeGATEHub at 11:40 almost. Sorry about going overboard. I'll take all questions later. I'll be back after lunch. Today it is all about how they close. Go to the earnings. Who's got earnings today? That'll drive maybe. Let's go. Flow bullish. ARLP, Nevada puts. That's not good. Ford is down 6%. Ford's down 6%. Europe. Europe closed well. So is that correct? Europe closed well. Where are we? Major indices. So Europe finished up. What am I afraid of? Well, they just closed now. Now there should be a bounce if Europe is closed. Upstart puts. FAS calls. FAS calls. They're shorting more financials. Wow. AG bullish. JSK bearish. SPY bullish. So let's see one more if they held that 46, 45.60. I hope they do. Nah, it's going to take some time. 45.60. All right, we'll see what's going on. So anyway, cheers. I appreciate your time. Trade well. Have a plan. What is tomorrow? I'll be posting later. Any other questions? Okay. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day. Trade well.